Good morning, children. I hope you all are fine. So, I hope you all are studying for your first unit test. Portions were already given. And actually, this last topic, regionalism, from chapter 3rd, India's internal challenges, I was supposed to teach online. But we have decided to teach online after your test. Okay. So let me finish this chapter today. I will be giving you extra questions also. So you all will take out your textbook, page number 13, the last topic, regionalism. Now, what do you mean by regionalism? See the heading, the topic. Regionalism means region. Region means what? The province, the states, the area, that is called a region. Regionalism means when there is a conflict in the name of region. Please don't get confused with religionalism. Religion is different and region is different. Many times children, they get confused with religionalism and regionalism. Okay, region means when we talk about a particular region, particular province, particular area, particular state, district. Okay, so that is called a regionalism. Now, what do you mean by regionalism? Regionalism means having excessive pride about one's regions. Means when you are excessive pride about any particular regions, you are very much pride, you are very much like proud about your region, that you belong to that particular region. It can be a district, it can be a state. It is one thing to introduce oneself as Bengali or a Marathi person. Means you feel very pride to introduce yourself that I am a Marathi or I am a Bengali or I am a Punjabi, whatever it is. So it is. But if I think that because I am a Bengali or Marathi, I am superior to others from other province, so it doesn't mean that. Sometimes what happens, children, you will think that though you belong to that particular state or that province, you are superior, you are greater than other people, those who reside in other province. Got it? So it can be termed as excessive regional pride. When you are having excessive regional pride, yes, it is good that you should proud of your country, you should proud of your state, region. But if you are doing excessive pride, that can lead to regionalism. Okay, the love for one's province turns morbid due to this kind of excessive regional pride. Now, what do you mean by morbid? Morbid means which can be like related to a unhealthy situation. Means that excessive pride of one's province, again province as I told you about an area, turns unhealthy situation will create. It will create a like riots due to the kind of excessive regional pride. So healthy won't be there, it become like a unhealthy, it like a full of tense situation will create because of excessive and regional pride. Got it? This, it is natural to feel love for one's province, but it should not become abnormal. So it is natural that you feel love for your region, but it should not be excessive, that it can create abnormality. It should not be that if somebody tells you that yes, you belong to that province, and I don't belong to that province, I belong to some other province. So you started just means you started degrading that person, you started showing all the anger to him. This should not be creating like a situation of tense and abnormality. Okay, regionalism strives on regional imbalance in development. In the post-independence period, some states achieved more progress while some states remain backward. So like this, why, how this regionalism emerged, children? Because after independence, some of the states, they have achieved more progress. It can be economically, it can be the industrialization, it can be industrially development, any field. Some of the states, they have developed very much, and some of the states, they remain backward. For example, states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Punjab and Tamil Nadu developed economically and industrially. So these all states, they have developed economically also, financially also. The states developed so much, and industrially also, many industries are there in these states also, children. Whereas states like Odisha, Bihar, Assam remain undeveloped economically and industrially. So we are talking about economically, industrially also. This states doesn't have much industry. That is why the people from these states, Assam, Bihar and all that, they used to migrate to other parts of country, because in those states, they don't have much opportunities of industries. So they remain undeveloped economically and industrially. Economic development and reforms are the foundation of progress. So these are the places where economic development are the foundation of progress. In these fields, if we have developed, if we have development, so the country also will be progress, the developed. As a result, the states that develop economically can also achieve progress in other areas like education, health and culture. So if this country, if this state, this province, states, if they develop economically in other parts also, in other areas like education, health and culture also, they progress. The states which have not developed in this manner remain backward in education and civic amenities. Civic amenities means what we need in our day-to-day life, like all the facilities. It can be the hospital facilities, education facilities, job facilities. All that facilities also will be they are lacking in those facilities also, because they have not much developed in economically or industrially, as we have seen. The opportunities of development available to people in developed states. So the states which are developed, people are getting more opportunities in those states. Like for example, children, if you talk about Maharashtra, Mumbai and all that, so they have developed economically, industrially. There are so many industries are there economically also. So people from all parts of country, they used to go to Mumbai to get job and to whichever field they wanted to do it, isn't that so? They are economically developed states are not possible for people in that's not possible of people those who are in backward states. They are harassed by problems of education, backwardness, unemployment, poverty and etc. So these states, those who are not developed, they have to face the problem of unemployment, because in those states employment opportunities are not there. Why employment opportunities are not there? Because they don't have industries. So where the people will be going to get the job, they have to migrate to other states. So there automatically those states unemployment will be there, poverty will be there, because people, those who are not getting job, their standard of living also will not be improved. So automatically there will be poverty, backwardness also, because if they are poor, so the standard of living, their status, backward, whatever it can be. We begin to think that they are being cheated, and this people, those who are in these states, they started thinking that they are being cheated because government is not looking, or they are not taking care of these states. They are being kept away from the benefits of development, and they started blaming the government, that the government is not taking care of the states, they are not getting much facilities. Because of this, the understanding between state is broken, and this turn as a negative impact of national unity. So like this understanding between the states, means when we talk about that, like for example, the people of the states also changed, broken, and it has taken a shape of negative impact on national unity. People from these states, they started, if they, like now also you must have seen in the newspaper or in the television, children, that in the news, that when the people from like other people migrated, this laborers from Bihar, UP and all that, when they used to come to Mumbai, they have been treated very badly. And in the pandemic time also, we have seen that they have been sent back. They also they only went back by their own, but sometimes some of the situation happened that they have been thrown out from the job and all that, whichever places, isn't that so? Because the people, those who don't belong to that particular place, they will not be getting much opportunities in the job or in any of the places. Okay, so that creates a sense of like a riot, or it can be like a negative impact will be there on national unity. The economic balance that has endangered this understanding needs to be set right. So like this, if the misunderstanding will be there in between the states, the economic balance of the states only get endangered. So that has to be maintained. Our government makes efforts in that direction. So government is making various efforts to curb this misunderstanding between the states. Regionalism can affect developed as well as undeveloped states. So it not only it affect the undeveloped states only, developed and undeveloped states also. The people of developed states begin to believe that they are superior in history and culture, and hence they have developed that much. So what happened, the people, those who are in developed state, they started thinking that superior in their history is superior, their culture is superior, and they started like thinking that they are much superior than other states. Hence they begin to look down upon the people of undeveloped nations, and they started they begin to look down upon that the other people, those who are from the Assam or whichever places. Isn't that we have seen so many times that what all the injustice happened to the people, those who are in the northeastern countries and all that, because they were not having much facilities, education facilities, job opportunities and all that. So they has to come down to the other states. So they have been treated very badly. These all the situations we have seen so many times in our country also. So like this, they started treated them badly. On the other hand, the people from backward areas, they need to arouse their regional identity to organize themselves. And what they have to do is, they have to they have to produce their regional identity to organize themselves. Means they started organizing wherever they used to go to any new place. They started making their own organization. They started showing their regional identity. They have to show that I am working there. Means if I am working in other states, I will be like loyal to that state. and all that. He has to prove himself that he is loyal to that, and his regional identity in that region, he has to show that he is not from that state, he is from other state, and he is working there. And he started making him own organization only to get it organized, to get his like help from other his friend, means his own, like a community, you can say that. For this, they try to unnecessarily glorify local traditions and culture to prove their uniqueness. And what they do it, wherever they go to any new places, they started showing that we are also not less developed than you. And they started unnecessarily, they started glorifying themselves with their local traditions, culture, and they started showing that we are also best. Uniqueness they started showing. This leads to regionalism. It endangers national unity, and that creates a regionalism, that creates rights, that creates it's a danger to national unity. The evil of regionalism can be tackled by reducing the imbalance in the development. So how this problem can be tackled, that whenever the government is declaring any development scheme, the government should be given equal status to all the states, all the provinces should be giving equal status. Then only all states will be happy. If any particular states will be getting all the facilities, other states will be deprived of that facilities, and they will feel that they are being cheated by the government, and automatically the people, those who are residing in that states, they will feel that they are like inferior compared to the other states. Got it? Apart from this, there are several problems like overpopulation, cleanliness, agriculture, problems of farmers, poverty, housing, food. This also some of the states are facing. So the government should be taking enough facilities, or they should be taking enough steps to overcome all these problems in those states which are backward states. We are trying to overcome this and move forward. We are progressing steadily. So like this, we have in our government is making steps to overcome these problems from other undeveloped states. So I hope you understood, children, the meaning of regionalism. Again, I am telling it is totally different from religionalism. It is region, about particular province, particular area, particular state. Okay, so that is the term regionalism. It's very, very important. So you have to write that. You have to learn it. And with this topic, we have finished the third chapter, India's internal challenges. The question answers that is given at the back, you have to read out and you have to write the answers. I will be giving you some of the extra questions that also you will be writing in your classwork side only. Again, I will be telling you something about your unit test that is on 17th of September. You have only two chapters, first chapter of history and first chapter of political science. The paper will be of only 10 marks and it will be totally online. All objective type questions you will be getting. One questions and followed by 4 objectives, 4 options. You have to click on the right option. That's it. You don't have to write anything. You have to just click on the right answer. I want all students to appear for the exam. It should not, don't give me any type of excuses. Is that very much clear? It is countable. So I hope you don't have any problem. If you have come across any queries related to this topic or your unit test portion, you should ask me personally. Okay? Okay, bye children.